Hey y'all, I'm at the Cinema Cafe. Getting ready to go in to see The Long Walk by Stephen King. It's the movie adaptation for the Long Walk that was released under his pseudonym, Richard Bachman. So I'm excited. I will keep you guys posted. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Read and Escape with Nina. So I wanted to give y'all an update because I finished The Long Walk and I went to go see the movie adaptation for this um, on Sunday. It was released September 12th, and I went to go see it. So that was a Friday, so I went to go see it Sunday. So I was really excited about seeing it, especially after reading the book and thoroughly enjoying it. So I just wanted to come on and give you guys an update on that and just check in, see how everybody's doing. What are you guys reading? Please comment below and let me know what you're reading. Um, I am still reading. I don't have it with me. It's probably over there on my. I am still reading The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I'm loving it. It's a long book, and I was reading The Long Walk at the same time. So and then with work and just life and kids and stuff. So I'm kind of reading that slow, but I'm really enjoying it. But today we are going to talk about Stephen King, The Long Walk, which was published under his pseudonym Richard Bachman. Um, let's see. This was I have my notes. I have my notes so that it can help me stay on track. You guys know I love my notes. Um, One of the things I wanted to tell you guys about this book is a little fun fact that Stephen King wrote this book when he was 18 years old, between 1966 and 1967, when he was a student at the University of Maine. So, people can complain about this book all they want. Some people don't like it. Some people do. You know, reading's subjective. Is okay, but for an 18-year-old, I think it was pretty brilliant. Um, but it wasn't published. I think he took it to a publisher and they rejected it, but it was later published in 1979. So, old book, and I know a lot of the fans who read it back then really wanted a movie. So now we have one in 2025. I mean, I guess it's never too late. Um, but this is all a new experience for me because I'm just now reading The Long Walk, and I had the advantage of having the movie come out around the time that I'm reading it. So pretty exciting. So it's just to give you a little synopsis. I'm not going to read from the back. I'm just going to go by memory. I know memory. If I just read it, do I need it? But Perry is real, and I'm in my 40s. So there you go. But it starts out. So in this review, I'm going to talk about the book and the movie interchangeably. There's not going to be any order. Um, but just the general premise of the book is it starts off with 100 boys who um, submitted an application, so to speak, to participate in the long walk. And at the end of this long walk, there is like the ultimate prize. You can have anything you wish. Um, but there are some rules around it. And you basically have to walk. There's no finish line. You have to walk until there's nobody left. And there are warnings given. So if you get 3 warnings, you get your ticket out, which means you are shot and killed. So you're followed by military guys. They're riding in their big tank trucks and they're following these boys as they're walking along and they're trying to keep them on track. And if one of them veers off the road or one of them falls down or sits down, they'll just say number 47 warning, and then number 47 warning number 2 until you get to 3, and then they're shot. So it's very brutal, because they're taking this long hike. They're starting, it takes place in Maine, of course, like most of Stephen King's books, because he's from Maine. They're starting off like in northern Maine and they're trekking down towards the south. um the book, I'm gonna be honest, the book did what it was supposed to do, which made me aggravated and tired at the same time. I was just like, oh my goodness, all this walking, I can't take it anymore. The book obviously had more details in terms of the physical uh, beating that their bodies had to take during this walk. Oh, and I forgot to mention that they had to keep a pace of, in the book, they had to keep a pace of 4 miles per hour. But in the movie, they dropped it down to 3 miles per hour because in the movie, they would really be trekking pretty fast and trying to talk. The actors would be trying to talk at the same time doing this. So I did notice that when I went to go see the movie, that it was knocked down to 3 miles per hour. But still, that is still quite a feat considering no finish line, you're competing with all these other people. Um, so they're taking this walk, and what I like about the story is the friendship, the brotherhood, the stories, the backstories of the characters. Um, my two favorite are Ray Garrity and Pete McVreeves. Um, they definitely formed a bond and a brotherhood throughout this walk, because just think you're walking night, day, rain, shine. Even if you can't stop to use the bathroom, so you're using the bathroom as you're walking, you're getting to know the person next to you. And you're also looking at them as if, hey, I may die with this person. Or I might watch them die, or they may watch me die. So I kind of like how um you have the different characters, and they come with their own like personal battles or demons or things like that. um I put down in my notes that this book was physical and mental torture. Obviously the physical, because of them having to constantly walk without stopping, um was hard enough, but they all were dealing with their own personal demons, so to speak. And then also the mental agony of trying to push yourself to do something even when your body is like giving out so soon. um I don't know, I loved it. I really took to the story. I tried to come into it with an open mind because I knew that it was just going to be just a bunch of walking, and I knew it was just going to be sort of like one setting, and sometimes that can get a little mundane. But I just took it another level, and I really just enjoyed the character development. I enjoyed the spirituality in it. It's just so much deeper. I just loved it. But yeah, we're gonna get on to the next part. In my notes, I said this is brutal, physically and mentally. It's torture, but it has a spiritual and humanitarian undertone to it. Because think about it, you're joined together with these strangers, but you all have a common goal, and you all have personal things that you have going on, and your reasons for wanting to even be in something like this and participate in something like this. And even when you don't know somebody, it's hard to see somebody struggling and hurting and dying, because that's what they're doing. They're dying slowly. And it's hard to see one of your fellow human beings um, drop down knowing that they only got 3 warnings or they're going to die. So there's a lot of parts in this book and even in the movie where they see somebody drop down to the ground because they can't take it anymore, and you have a character they risk getting warnings themselves just to try to go save them, and give them that extra bit of energy when they just don't have it anymore. And they're really tested um, when they have to just leave them there knowing that they're going to die. It's really a battle between doing what's right and what's wrong. And I guess as humans, naturally, um, we want to be helpful and we want to help someone, but they literally have to turn their backs and walk away and hear this person get shot and die. Um, it just goes so much deeper than just, oh, they're just walking, and then if somebody gets warnings, then they're gonna die. I think it's just so much deeper than that, and that's why I really gravitated to it. That's why I really enjoyed it. when I was reading it, and I was taking my time reading it for that reason. Because for one, with Stephen King, he typically do have a lot of characters in his book, and in this one there are quite a bit of characters, and I wanted to know each one of them individually. um so I did take my time with reading this one. I described it in my notes, just little quick things that I wrote down. I just said it gives me like the feel of integrity. It's gritty, it's dark, captivating, and emotional. It's very emotional. um these guys really went through a lot. They saw things that they've never seen in their life before, people dying brutally, uh just in so much pain, and they're just trying their best to get to the end, meaning the end is when there's only one person left. um so yeah, I those are the words that I would say describes this book. Gritty, dark, captivating, emotional. um it's basically men putting their lives on the line for the possibility of the hope of a better future. That's what they're literally doing. They're signing up for this, knowing that they could possibly die just for a teeny tiny bit of hope that they could make it to the end and have a better future for themselves. I think it was brilliant. I think it's something different. Um, so a few things that I have down that I want to talk about in regards to the differences between the book and the movie. So I mentioned earlier that the movie had them walking 3 miles per hour. They were keeping up with that on their watch, and then the book was 4 miles per hour. Um, and just a little disclaimer, I'm gonna have spoilers in this because it's kind of hard to go over it in its entirety without including any spoilers. So anybody who wants to read it may want to cut off at this part. um so yeah, jumping into a little bit of spoilers. So we have the movie, they're walking 3 miles per hour. In the book, they're walking 4 miles per hour. We also have in the movie McReeves, or Pete, I'll call him Pete. That's his last name. They go by the last names Garrity, McReeves. So in the movie, Pete wins. In the book, Garrity wins. Also in the book, the two that were left were Stebbins and Garrity, but in the movie, the two that were left was Pete McReeves and Ray Garrity. Well, they changed it up a little bit. Let's see. In the book, they were 16-year-olds or teenagers, but to me in the movie, they looked like they were in their 30s. I guess, it was just the actors that they got that time, but that's just my personal observation. In the book, Pete McReeves talks about the scar on his face and how he got it. He shared that story with Garrity. In the movie, he did talk about it, but it was a totally different story. So in the book, he talked about how he got the scar from a girl that he was dating, and things just got crazy. But in the movie, he was talking about how he got in a fight with the guy, and that's how he got his scar. So just some little subtle changes there. Um, as far as the spectators and the people on the side, I had to do a little bit of thinking about this because my sister and she went to go see the movie, but she didn't read the book. And we were talking about the spectators. And at the time I was talking to her about the movie, I was thinking, yeah, we get a little bit more insight in the book. But then I thought, I was like, just a little. We get just a little, but it's still not that deep. Um, I felt like in the movie they were just sprinkled or thrown in very quickly, and we didn't get too much depth there. Um, in the movie, they weren't as what's the word I'm trying to think about? In the movie, I felt like they were random, but in the book, I felt like because Garrity was from Maine and that was his home state, he had a lot of spectators cheering him on. We saw one girl in the movie with the sign up cheering him on, but that was it. That was nothing in comparison to the book. So in the book, you had more of like people cheering him as he was walking along, um, and it was actually sort of inspirational to him. We didn't see that in the movie. Also, there were some other things in the book where some spectators would like run out and hug Garrity and things like that. We didn't see. I thought I was going to see that when I saw the movie, but it didn't happen. And that's fine. It's just something that I just wanted to mention because I had wrote that down. Um, Also, the ending. Let's get into the ending. With the ending, there's some backstory here when it comes to Garrity. So long story short, the major had came to his house and shot his dad in front of him and his mom. And he was traumatized by that. Because of it, he was afraid of death. Um, it was just really hard on him and his mother having to see that and also to lose his dad. So he signed up for this long walk specifically to get back at the major. He was determined to win this long walk so that his last wish would be to get a gun. And I can't think of the specific type of gun that it was called. But he wanted to get one of those big type rifle guns, and he was going to shoot the major where he stood because he felt like that was his payback, and he had to do that for himself, for his mom, for his dad. So um that was Garrity's story, and obviously he told it to Pete McReeves, and they were talking about it, and um, Pete told him, well, I took the walk because, his symbolism was, I've been walking all my life, man. So what is this? You know what I'm saying? He just felt like, I've been walking all my life. I can handle this. So I put down in my notes here, Garrity. So at some point after this long walk and talking to Pete and everything like that, I felt like the ending, because a lot of people are confused about the ending. A lot of people have different perspectives on the ending. For me, I feel like throughout this walk, Garrity had a chance to grow up a little bit more emotionally. And I think that he was no longer afraid of death, and I think he sacrificed himself for McReeves because something that McReeves had said earlier to him, which was, I've been I've been walking. That's what I literally put here. I've been walking all my life. So I felt like that was Garrity's way of pulling McReeves out of that, if that makes sense. Um, and in return, even if Garrity didn't make it, he died. McReeves ended up fulfilling his wish because now that Garrity died and McReeves is the winner, what did he wish for? He wished for the gun so that he could kill the major, and he did. He shot the major. And so this, I'm talking about the movie, obviously. So in the movie, um McReeves wins. He shoots the major and he walks off. And when he's walking away, it can be kind of confusing because you had a crowd of people at the end just waiting. You had a crowd of spectators, and all of a sudden they just go away, and you just see this long dark path in front of Pete McReeves, and you're like, okay, what's happening? Because I know I was. I'm like, what's going on? I think that the spectators went away because I think McReeves was just so much in his head and caught up in the moment that anything outside of that didn't exist. And I think that's why for us, the viewer, those people went away. And he continued to walk down this dark path because that's what he was doing anyway. He was doing before the walk, during the walk, and now he's continuing to do that after the walk. And that's just his fate. He's walking all his life. That's what I think. Um, that's what I got out of it from the movie. From the book, Garrity and Stebbins are the two left. Stebbins ends up just dying from pure exhaustion. So he ends up dying. And Garrity's left as the winner. He shoots the major, but then when he walks off, he just sees this dark figure. And it ends with that. And I'm just like, oh, what is that dark figure? Is it possibly a shadow of his father? Well, it just leaves, I think I like it when stories leave a little bit of ambiguity because it lets everybody have their own thoughts and their own perspectives. And everybody has a little something different. Sorry, dogs barking. It always happens. But I like how it gives everybody a chance to have their own perspective. But you may think something different. And if I said something wrong, let me know below. Um, but that's what I got out of it. That's how I perceive it. I think this would be a book that I wouldn't mind reading again, honestly. I would probably just do it as an audiobook, just while I'm out taking a walk or something. Because after reading it, then seeing the movie and trying to put the two together, reading it again might be kind of fun. I mean, it's not like I haven't done it before. 11/22/63. Y'all know how I do with that. So yeah, that's just my thoughts. If y'all seen the movie or read it, let me know your thoughts below. I really had a good time with this. I was excited about seeing the movie, and I was excited about getting up here and doing a video for you guys. Um, this is my bookshelf behind me. I pretty much read all the books on this bookshelf. I have a separate TBR that you already know. There's maybe, I don't know how many books are on my TBR. And you know what? If somebody could guess the exact number of books on my TBR, might give you a little prize or something. Um, but yes, all the books behind me I have read, and then there's some others over here on my TBR list. Some of my read, some I'm currently reading. You know, you know how I do. There's never too many books. Just not. So with that said, I'm just gonna go ahead and end the video here. I'm gonna try to get you guys out some more content. I know I've been a little slacking, but life. That's all I got to say. Um, it just, sometimes I'm ready to just curl up in bed with my book and go to sleep. There's two things that I can't be late for. Okay, I can't be late for reading, and I can't be late for bed. That I got to do it. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate the time. I do. One of my childhood friends, he comes up here often and watch, and every time he sees my video, he texts me, and I'm so grateful. I've known him since I was in the third grade. We've been friends since I was in the third grade. Um, I'm just really thankful. I try to shout you guys out sometimes at the end of the videos. I appreciate it, all of you guys watching and taking the time. It means a lot. But yep, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys good night. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And please hit the bell to be notified so you know when I post a new video. Okay. All right. Bye.